In cooperation with Vital Voices, the International Women's Organization, I talked with two women who played crucial roles in the Arab Spring. This is America is made possible by the National Education Association, the nation's largest advocate for children and public education. Punsan Corporation, forging a higher global standard. The CTC Foundation, AFO Communications, and the Rotendaro Family Trust. Tell me about life in Tunisia today.
Oh, it's a good question. How is life in Tunisia? It's, I mean, we are in this crossroad for 1 year maybe, and after that we will have to choose the right or the wrong one. Huh? So we are in this country being completely rebuilt, reconstructed, redebated even. And we are searching for what Tunisia will look like in the future.
Tunisia led the Arab Spring, didn't it? If we can use that phrase, led the revolutions in that whole part of the world.
Absolutely. Tunisia led the revolution, and for me, as Tunisian, I think the revolution is not already done, because the revolution will be done once we reach the real democracy. And that real democracy, we are building it now. So Tunisia led, but the idea is that we want that country to lead it till the end. Mm-hmm. And we are the first country now to draft a constitution. We are the first country who had elections, and we will be the first country that will have another elections by March. So the idea is to stay this, to take this energy we had from the revolution and to take it until the day we will reach the real democracy.
Are the people optimistic?
No, I don't think that word fits now, because it's really a time of uncertainty. We don't know what's happening exactly. We are not seeing how will be the future. But if I can speak of myself, yes, I'm optimistic, and I have been optimistic even under Ben Ali's regime, so it's not now that I'm giving up my hope and my optimism. I'm optimistic because I'm seeing people fighting every day in that country to make this story a success. And that's why I think when we are working, it means that we will have a result.
You have been an activist for a long time, huh?
Yes.
10 years or more?
It's 11 years.
11 years. And if you turn the clock back, what were you protesting back then as an activist?
Yes, so it started actually about freedom of speech. It was the main problem for us as a human rights activists at that time, because when you cannot even report what's happening, how can you change anything? How can you talk about other rights if you don't have the right to speak about them? And so I was focused on the freedom of speech, but with a specificity. I'm 27 years old, and at that time I was 16. And
how did you make that known to other people, that that's what you were protesting?
This wonderful ultra-democratic tool called internet.
Right.
So
yes. You were a blogger?
Yes, I have been a blogger, a micro-blogger, a Facebooker, a Twitterer, everything.
You use the technology.
I use it, every single technology possible to spread the word.
And do I understand at one time that you were followed by Secret Service, and you were pretty well known? You were beaten at one time?
Not one time.
Not one time.
Not one time, but it was the reality of that moment. I mean, everybody, if you want to speak and if you want to react against this dictatorship, you have to have these consequences, which were to be beaten and to be arrested and all that things. I consider myself lucky because I haven't been in levels of in the same level of other activists, for example, for torture. I haven't been jailed, I haven't been raped, and all that things. I mean, for all that things, I consider myself lucky.
It's hard as I'm listening to you, and it's hard for maybe folks who are watching us right now to here in America to understand, you know, a young girl being beaten and followed, and you were banned from your country for a long time, huh?
Yes, absolutely. What I will say to the people who are watching us is it was my reality at that time, but it's the reality of many people just right now as we are speaking in other countries, in other Arab countries, but not only there, in Asia, in Latin America, and other countries. So let's not forget that a lot have to be done.
You are involved right now, but I want to go back a little bit of business about if you're banned from your own country for 4 years, how did that come about, and what's that like?
The problem back then was that I have been banned from my country, and my family was banned to go out from the country, so I couldn't see them for years. And
they couldn't go visit you,
no,
you couldn't go back
absolutely. And so
was that because you were so vocal and so well known?
Yes, because not only me, my family is a family of human rights activists. My cousin have been the first marcher of internet. He was the first cyber activist dead because of his activism. My father is the only judge who stood against Ben Ali and against corruption in Tunisia. So it was a family affair. We like families in the Arab world, but
yes, I know you do. I know you do.
This is the family in the good way. So it was. I mean, it was that and being banned from the country give you, I mean, more strength in your battle and give you more power, because you know that your battle is right and what you are doing is right, and more than that, you know that what you are doing is touching them. Because if I didn't have the power to do things, I think they will let me go, at the time go back to Tunisia, but it wasn't the case.
What did you say about your cousin who was like the first blogger? Tell me about him.
Yes, my cousin was the first blogger arrested because of internet and jailed. He took 4 years. He had been arrested for 4 years. He did a lot of hunger strikes, and he died after going out of prison because of hunger strikes. My cousin had won this award, the Cyber Activism Award from Reporters Without Borders, and have been, I mean, very known at that time because he changed how people use internet. Internet is not only about chatting and I mean, seeing clips or movies. It's also about activism, and he was certainly the cyber activist of Tunisia.
You have a current mission, which is to keep your eye on the parliament. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So when I went back to Tunisia, I asked myself, what should we do now? We haven't been elected, but this is our constitution being written. So we decided to create the NGO albawsala.com, and we decided to create the first monitor of the parliament in Tunisia, which is called marsat.tn, which means monitor.tn. And with this website, we are seeing and reporting everything they are doing. Why is that? Because we believe that these people who have been elected, don't represent only themselves. They have to be accountable regarding their electorate and us as Tunisian. And this constitution, it's not about 217 people writing a constitution, drafting it. No, it's the constitution that many people died for, and we have to be involved on that. So we are monitoring the Constitutional Assembly, but also we are advocating for human rights on the Constitution, because we really believe that Tunisia have this responsibility that maybe the other countries of the Arab Spring don't have, which is we led this and we have to finish it. Mm-hmm. And we are today answering a question, which is human rights, is democracy a universal concept? Let me explain why. Because in the world, the democracies have always been from the West. Mm. And in the Arab countries, we are always wondering if democracy can fit with our identity. Mm-hmm. And that's what Tunisia will answer. Democracy can fit with a Muslim, Arab, poor world. And with that constitution, that will be the answer.
Do you think it's possible?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yes.
Unequivocally?
I have no worry about that.
Is there a piece of what we're going to call democracy, and agree on that principle? Is there a piece of that that would be specific to the Arab world, or democracy is democracy is democracy?
Democracy is democracy, and if you want to reinvent other things, we just won't call it democracy, but because there is only one meaning for democracy: respecting everyone and having rights and duties in a country, in respecting this declaration of human rights that fits with any human being in this world, whether he's American or Tunisian or Somalian or other things. So I have no reserve on this word, democracy. Democracy can fit in Tunisia and can fit on all the other countries. What I will say, and maybe that's the worry of, the West, is, are they able to have it? And the answer is yes. And why yes? Because if we work and if we make it happen, so we will have it. And if we fail, it's up to us. It's because of us. It's not because of others. If we don't have democracy in the Arab world, it's because of us, citizens from that countries, not fighting for it. And if we win, it will be also a win for us, because thanks to us, we will answer that question.
And the Arab world is up to it?
Absolutely.
Thank you for your visit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Libya has experienced a great deal of hardship and change. To learn more, we spoke with a woman, an attorney, who's been involved in the struggle from the very beginning.
What is life like in Libya today?
Life in Libya now is dynamic. Everybody's looking for our election. It will be on the 19th of June. And we're looking for that because we know that we are not ready, and because for more than 60 years we didn't have any election before. But I think we have to do it. It will be tough for us. The United Nations helped us a lot for that, to raising the awarenesses for the people, because as you know that in Libya we didn't know about anything about the constitution. I'm talking about the majority of the people. I'm not talking about the intellectual people or the sophisticated people. And the majority, they are the most important part that we are worried about, because they have to know what's the constitution, what's the election, why they will go for the election, and who they will go to choose for the National Congress.
What role did you play in the revolution? Well, you were an organizer, weren't you? You're an attorney, right?
I'm a lawyer.
Yes.
I'm a lawyer. I want to tell you that I'm proud that the women sparked the revolution. And the 15th, there were women from the families of the Muslims massacres. I don't know if you heard about Buslim. Buslim is, there were prisoners, and Gaddafi ordered to kill them. And it was, there were 1,270 prisoners killed within 2 hours. And on 15th of February, the regime arrested one of the family's sons. And after that, the women's, the mothers and sisters protest in front of the compound. And after that, the people started to surrounding them, and they did a demonstration. After that, on the 17th of February, because there were many activists, they appointed that day for the anger day. And in that day, we were, group of lawyers. We did many meetings before that, because we did protest even before that, 1 month ago, before the revolution, when Gaddafi felt that the people were stuck in front of the TV because they inspired with what happened in Tunisia and in Egypt, and they were really fixed in front of the TV. And they were in that time, they were asking themselves, can we do it, or why them? And because of that, he did the speech on the January.
Were you asking that question yourself?
Yes, yes.
And what was your answer?
In that time, I said to myself, Gaddafi is not like Ben Ali and Hosni Mubarak, because I know that we don't have an army who protects the people in Tunis and in Egypt. The army, the national army, the loyalties is not for, it wasn't for the Hosni Mubarak or Ben Ali, but who protect them. Even if, yes, I know there's martyrs in Egypt and in Tunis, but at the end, who protect the people, the national army? But in our situation is really unique.
It was a bloodbath, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
How many people in the end ended up dying?
And we sacrificed, I think, more than 30,000. And more than 10,000 amputees. Yes. And many of the women and men raped families in front of each other.
Women played such a huge role.
Yeah.
But once Gaddafi was gone, and the country started to try to kind of pull itself together, as I understand it, the women were sidelined.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
What's that all about?
I'm not surprised, I want to tell you, that I know that we played very effective and very strong role during the revolution. And I was the first one in protesting in in front of the courthouse, the kitchen of the revolution. And there were, after that, they joined us hundreds and thousands of women, and they were inspired the men to join us, and they were felt like shame. And they told me that many men, they told me, because they were like they were watched us, and we told them, just come, just join us. Nothing will happen. Just we will be together. And really, we didn't. In that time, we were like side by side with male counterpart.
Equal.
Yeah, yeah.
There was at a point in time they appointed some kind of a transitional council, a national transitional council,
Yeah.
of which you were a part. And then at a particular point in time, you said, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to resign.
Yeah.
What triggered the resignation?
I was, in the beginning, I was a member of founding the 17th of coalition, 17th February 17th coalition. And that coalition who formed the first city council and the first military council, and which led to the formation of the National Transitional Council. And after that, four from the coalition representative in the NTC. And there were 2 women from the coalition, and there is 1 member in the NTC. And I spent 3 months and a half with them, but really I didn't feel comfortable because they thought there were most of them men. There were just 3 women. And they thought that, okay, all the women did great thing, and they were effective and strong and significant and everything, but maybe now you go back to your work because this is the role of the men's role. Political, it belongs to men. And I want to tell you something that I didn't disappointed because of the mentality. The mentality, and it's something is psychological. For more than 60 years, you didn't see any women in high position in the to rule, or ministers. There were just 3 ministers during 42 years. And 3 ministers, they weren't like a figure. Yeah.
So you're saying it is cultural, but you also say understandable, huh?
Understandable, but we were not acceptable. We will not. We will not accept that. Now we are
not
trying.
Listened to, not respected, voices not encouraged to be heard. Huh?
Yes. So now we are. There are many of the organization, and I'm a member in Libyan Women Platform for Peace, and now we are trying to raising the awarenesses for the women's rights, and we are trying to spread it all over Libya, and capacity building and develop of the law. What's the law and what's the constitution?
What does the Constitution say about women's rights are human rights?
We didn't have any constitution before. During Gaddafi, we didn't have any.
So the one that's in process now?
And now it didn't start yet, because our election, it will be on the 19th of this month, and it will be there 200 seats. And I want to tell you that in the beginning they established electoral law, and they said that the percentage for the woman, the maximum is 10%.
Huh.
So really, we did we did demonstration, and we protesting, and we did many meetings on the channel, on the TV. And really, I want to tell you that there is many of the men believing in women.
And they should.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me understand this correctly. The election will happen, and there's a framework for the election, but then the Constitution will be constructed based on the people who are elected, huh?
Yes, yes, yeah.
I got it
They
now.
will appoint 60 people to write our Constitution.
How can they have an election without any Constitution, though?
Because this is Libya. Everything, everything is new.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for saying
40,
that.
We have to start from scratch.
Yes.
There is no civil society.
Yeah.
There is no parties. There is no institution there.
How did those people run to be elected?
Because we didn't have any parties before. Just now we have strong party, that's the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yes, sure.
And because of that, our electoral law is really different between the other country. So it will be 200 seats, 120 seats, they will run for individual people. And the 80 seats will be run for the parties, lists for the parties. And because of the situation of Libya, that's why when I said it's unique, I'm not in a good way. And I'm telling you that it's something you will not see. We are not like Tunisian or Egypt.
As a last question, can I ask you, are you optimistic now?
Yes, I'm optimistic now. Maybe I'm like zigzag. Sometimes I'm very optimistic and sometimes I'm not. But now we are looking for this the first elected Congress. It's not a parliament because it's not about agendas and. But really, we are optimistic. Even I know there is weapons presence everywhere, and the situation is really not very comfortable there. And but when you see during 1 year and a half, I can just say it's remarkable what we have been achieved.
We thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
And we wish you the best of luck
Thank you.
as the months unfold.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
For information about my new book, The Chance of a Lifetime, and online video for all This Is America programs, visit our website, thisisamerica.net. And now you can follow us on Facebook. This is America is made possible by the National Education Association, the nation's largest advocate for children and public education. Punsan Corporation, forging a higher global standard. The CTC Foundation, AFO Communications, and the Rotendaro Family Trust.